How you guys doing today? So we are going to go over the 350 to 500 horsepower drop-in turbo kit for the Genesis Coupe 2.0 Turbo. I actually have another video that I'll link above that directs you to the actual unboxing of the turbo itself. But today's video is a little bit different. It's about the turbo kit. So I'm going to show you how everything is assembled, some of the tips on installations, and I'll show you how everything is packaged up before it ships out to you. All right, let's get started. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Um, our first part of the video today is going to be the assembly of the turbo kit. So let's get started right away. So you just saw me put the turbo kit together. Hopefully, you know, when you go to disassemble or reassemble or replace any part of the turbo kit that you purchase from us, that this video helps you out in, you know, both disassembly and assembly of it. Make sure if you ever disassemble and reassemble, you're going to need new hardware. So new lock washer, new locking nut, and new studs here. So you can always find out what you need by emailing us at support@bloodtyperacing.com, and we'll give you the exact specs of what you need. As for some of the things that you do need to know is, if you notice, it has a bypass valve built in as if it's like an OEM turbo system. So if you have a BK1, obviously you don't need a blow-off valve, or if you have an aftermarket blow-off valve, all you really need to do is run a boost source into this. So here's your boost source port right here. You see that? So that normally would run to your boost controller. All you have to do is tee off of that and plug it right into this. And it would keep this thing closed the whole time. So you don't need to buy a separate blow-off valve cap or anything like that, or block-off plate of any sort of that nature. Okay, so this obviously works for BK1s with aftermarket blow-off valves, or BK2s, which already have blow-off valve on their stock intercooler side of things. Like I said, again, you take the vacuum that comes off here that would normally run to your boost controller of some sort. All you have to do is tee it off and run it into this. And, you know, off the tee, you still go to the boost source for your boost controller. But by doing so, that boost that you're making out of the turbo pushes diaphragm and keeps the blow-off valve closed the whole time, essentially making it a block-off plate. Okay. As for down here on the oil return side of things, what you would want to do with the oil return is you would want to use the OEM oil return for the most part. I've seen people actually use the oil return port they give us here, but depending on the car, sometimes people have issues trying to fit that in there. If you can fit that in there, great. If not, again, you can just fit the OEM one on there and it will work just fine. All right, so nothing too crazy there. You just have to transfer it over from the OEM. Okay. And let me look at these fittings real quick. So this one is for your oil feed line. This one will go at the end of the oil feed line right here. And it will go on like that. And it will go to your OEM oil feed line location. Okay, and these, we have two of those, see that? Will go at the end of the water line, like so. It will go in like that, all right? And the barbed end will go to the OEM hoses for the water lines. Pretty simple. All right, so everything else just lines right up, drops right in. For your turbo kit to fit into your intercooler, we do supply you with this 90-degree elbow here. You can use this right on there and run your OEM piping, or if you have an aftermarket piping, you're obviously going to have to get something larger, because usually aftermarket pipings are larger, but you can definitely use this to finish off your system. This is included in all the BK2 kits. BK1s don't come with this because BK1 actually lines straight up into that, so you don't have to worry about that at all. All right, hopefully that covers everything for you. I'm gonna box this up and show you how the boxing process goes next. Now I want to add one more thing. Right here, this is actually a bracket that MXP supplies with their manifolds. Basically what this does is this will bolt down here on the bottom. You see there's two holes there? Yeah, it bolts right onto there, and then it actually holds up the turbo kit. And this end goes to your block. You will see this when you actually remove your OEM turbo, that there is a location for the OEM turbo. There's a bracket there. So this is what replaces that bracket and helps hold everything up. That way these four hardware aren't the only things holding up your turbo. Make sure you install this, because without this, in the long term, you're going to strain the manifold right here and the hardware that goes here with all the vibrations and the weight. It's definitely a good idea to use the bracket that's supplied. All right, you're going to find this in your box when you actually purchase the kit. It might be a little bit of a pain to put it on, but it's definitely worth the trouble if you don't want a cracked manifold, if you don't want the turbo backing out and things like that. Okay, so yeah, let's move on and let me put this back together in a box so that you can see how it all goes in. All right, so a couple last minute notes that I want to put in there at the end of the video is once you have installed this kit, make sure after you get your custom tune done that, after the turbos has gone through a few heat cycles, that you go back in there and retighten those hardwares that are holding the turbo to the manifold. Throughout the heating and the cooling down and the heating and the cooling down process, they can get loose, so make sure that you go back in there and tighten them one more time after they've gone through the whole heat and cool process. Okay, that's something that we can't do during assembly, obviously, because it can't be heated up to where the operating temperature of the turbo itself while we're assembling. So make sure you go ahead and do that. Again, double check to make sure that you're using that bracket underneath. It will definitely keep everything together for a longer period of time than for you not to run a bracket like that, because I mean that is a lot of weight through a lot of vibrations that it needs to hold up just by the manifold itself without the bracket. Okay. Um, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. If you want more information on the turbo kit, we do have a link below in the descriptions. You'll be able to choose from number of different turbos depending on the type of power level you're looking for. So yes, again, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.